Hi, everybody. Yep, that's me, Sarah, Pearls of Wisdom and Food, also known as Goldilocks, with my Goldilocks bathrobe. Hi, Tanya, if you're still watching. Thank you for the bathrobe. I love it. And you know that, though. Anyway, here we are. And it's a break from the men's health food items just to have a little chit chat. Where have I been? I've still been here. I'm busy doing my Instacat and every day. So I wake up and I get ready for the first batch, and it takes me to a beautiful part of the Cape, and then I kind of work out of that part. So it's kind of fun. So the first bit takes about 20 minutes to get to. Sometimes, the Cape is like this. I live here. Instacart goes this far, that's Orleans, or this far, that's Falmouth. And so I will head out and do whatever town pulls me in. And then I like to work out of that store. Then I get better at figuring out. Yesterday, cute little story. I had this order, and what happens is it comes up on your phone, and you just go like this, and you can see all the items. And then you kind of take a picture or scan the UPC code, and then it makes it go away. So all you've got left are the items that you want. And so it's for this person. And first it's like 2 or 3 different types of guacamole. They were kind of wiped out, so I had to begin communication with her. And then it ended up being cake mixes and frosting cans, and then a frosting tube filled with vanilla, and then it was 9 containers of ice cream and containers of chips and goldfish and Cheez-Its, and anyway, it was over $150 worth of out of just junk. There was nothing that was a sustainable, nutritious food on it. It was funny. So through the course of it, I found out that she's 9 months pregnant with her 5th child. And so her husband bought the regular food, but no snacks or treats, and for all of those at home. And so she said, I'll take care of that. Well, she was a doll. I usually don't see the people. You just leave the food at their doorstep, take a picture and send it to them. Then they know you've been there in case they aren't paying attention. But she came out and waved to me when I left. She was cute. So I loaded her up, but it's just funny finding items that like used to be major triggers, which was cans of frosting. Thank you very much. I didn't need the cake mix, although I would have, but it took too long, right? And the ice cream. So anyway, cake and ice cream. Yeah. Sorry if I mentioned it, if it's a trigger food. So anyway, I love what I do. Sometimes people order all this incredibly beautiful, organic type of food. I've had probably more Beyond Burger type orders, either the patties or the 1-pound vac packs or whatever. Then I have regular meat. Isn't that something? Turkey bacon. It's kind of wild. But anyway, so I'm here to talk keto mostly, carnivore, carnivish, and our feelings surrounding our foods, changes that we do, plateaus, good loss, just, how we handle it. Definitely when we're older. I do have a series coming up about being over 40, and it talks about the foods that we eat and how we are different. And and then I add one more to it. It's like, how about being over 60? If you think being over 40 causes stalls and plateaus and difficulty losing, add 20 more years. But that's what we do, and we have faith and trust that it'll work for us, and so we just go about our day. For me, eating once a day, and only having black coffee as the bridge, as Dr. Cyrus would say, is how I do it. And since I went back to keto and I gave up drinking my calories, which means that I have Gerolsteiner water or black coffee, has made a difference. I did have a loss on the first when I weighed myself. I will weigh myself again on the next first that comes up or thereabouts, depending what day it is. And so I just go along, do my business, and eating once a day, if you're out there and it's active and it's summer and you have jobs and kids and meetings and places you have to go, makes life so much easier. If you're beating yourself up about wanting to be OMAD but still struggling with the 2MED, don't worry about it. Do it when you can. Maybe OMAD is something that you want to tackle in the fall where you're inside more than you're outside on the go, go, go with kids, hoping that the kids are back in school again, of course. So you do what you do. You notice what's going on in your body. If a food agrees with you, if it doesn't. I've found that since going back to keto and adding in vegetables, I don't have that tremendous bloat that I had when I did keto at the beginning, like, 5 or so years ago. It's just kind of interesting. So I'm very, very happy. And if you see my OMAD video, which is I usually do a video of what I'm having for dinner, you'll see that, I've welcomed back in a lot of things. I will never eat broccoli. Somebody asked me about that. Too gassy. So I have things like asparagus, green beans, spaghetti squash. I have zucchini, yellow squash. So those foods have entered into my life. I've even had a very small Yukon. I've had a very small sweet potato a couple of times. So I've let these things enter in, and it just works. I like it. I like the variety. I like the planning. Yes, it takes longer than to just have a steak or, a pound of burger. I've cut down a little bit on the meat amount and get protein from other sources as well, like only 6 to 8 ounces of a ribeye instead of a pound to a pound and a half when I was carnivore. And then I add in the veg. And I do get full. I do get content. I do get satiated. And yes, it lasts me to the next day when I have my OMAD again. And it was interesting because I was wondering if I'm active, like if I'm doing Instacart, I am physically active for like 6 to 7 hours a day from the time I get into my car to the time I get out of my car. I'm bending, lifting, reaching for groceries, putting them on the conveyor belt, carrying the bags, taking them out of the cart, putting them in the car, delivering to the people's houses, hoping they don't have steps up a hill. That's my killer still. And then doing that and then ending that delivery and then just going on to another, what they call batch. So I'm continuously active. I wouldn't say it's strenuous build up of sweat, but it's busy and, kind of like being active at your job if you have that pedometer where you see how many feet. I haven't done that yet, but I'd be curious to see how many feet or miles, steps it ends up being. But I love it because I feel that all of the reaching and everything else is good for my back since my surgery, as well as just my body in general being almost 70. How many months have you heard me say almost 70? Well, it's coming up. So that I won't say anymore. I'll say 70. So I love what I do. I love the Cape. It takes me to beautiful areas and houses. And then I come home to my OMAD. I prep most of what I can prep is done in the morning before I leave for the day. So, and then I have my routine for Greg's stuff, my stuff, and the similar stuff that we have. But there's a lot of stuff. He's very standard American, and I'm very keto. So I prep our plates as much as I can, and go on from there. Like today, I will go to the Brazilian butchery and get the ground top sirloin fresh from there. And it's a burger day, a burger and a dog day. I'll also have asparagus and I think maybe zucchini or maybe English cucumber, something like that. I usually have a couple of veggies veggies, and then the meat. And I do love that meat. I can eat that burger almost raw, like charred on the outside and warm on the inside, but very, very, very rare. More than I could a steak. When the steak is too rare, I can't eat it. I guess I like medium rare for my steaks. So, but it all works. And I think the burger's like 9 ounces before cooking. So it works. And then, I don't have the hunger gurgles that I used to have when I was keto, that I definitely had when I was Weight Watcher. And I didn't have them with carnivore either, but I was eating a boatload of meat, or I should say a ranch full of meat. So it's working for me right now where I'm tweaked, no tummy issues, and it just kind of works. I stay busy. It doesn't bother me. Like I said, I went from decades of blonde coffee, sweetened coffee, to now just black. I can't believe it the most. And so it's just a good way for me to live. I hope you've got your cup of coffee in, you've got your priorities, what you're wearing. Do you have to iron it first? Or are you going out for a run? Or are you on the rebounder? Are you doing your bands and listening to me? Whatever it is, this is coming to an end. So I hope you completed your little session. And happy to be here. I can't believe it's August. And I will see you again the next time to talk about keto, carnivore, carnivish, and all the stuff that we experience. I'm so glad you're here, especially if you're older and you found my channel. We're just real here. We're not all about, strict and we just do what we do. Life is not about deprivation. Life is not about, the struggles. If you allow yourself to have a treat every now and then it's done in a way that is safe. In other words, there's nothing left in the house that's going to call to you, right? That's where you get into your addictions and them talking to you and stuff like that. So having a treat, and it's a treat, and it's there, and it's not the next day and the next day, and then you're buying gallons of it and bringing it home, if you know what I mean. So enjoy yourselves. It's August. It's summer. We've made it through where we're working through this pandemic. Life isn't, it's filled with stress. Just enjoy yourself and just don't berate yourself or judge yourself or dump on yourself. Just be human. Enjoy it. You don't even have to forgive yourself if you're not beating yourself up, right? And just move on with your day. That's what life is about. I'm so glad you're here. Don't want to do this without you. Thank you so much. I'll see you the next time. Bye-bye for now.